Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm back here in Maine, as you can probably see. You've seen my home before. Very excited to be back. I hope you all had a truly wonderful Christmas. I know I did. It was a great time to be home and great time to be with my family. Tell you what though, there is nothing better than being back home. Want to share this week, we're talking about a passage from 1 Kings chapter 18. It's my favorite prophet. The prophets we're talking about right now are kind of a pair, if you will, Elijah and Elisha. And this story is one you probably know pretty well, but it has it's probably one of the best stories in the Bible, top few anyway. But it's got this verse in it that's so good and so powerful, and that's what I'll spend most of my emphasis on today. And that's this. It's the story of Mount Carmel. What happened is Israel had several evil kings, and each king just continued to do evil, and God finally had enough. And so he sent Elijah, and he said, Elijah, I want you to go and confront the king. The king's name was Ahab. Ahab had married a woman named Jezebel, and she was super evil, and she got him to be evil with her. They were hunting down prophets and killing them. Real bad couple. And so he said, I want you to go up onto Mount Carmel and have this guy join you. And so Elijah meets Ahab and all these evil priests that they had take official roles throughout the kingdom. And they have this showdown where they both build two altars. They both build their altar, one on one side, one on the other. One for the false god Baal, and one for the true God, Yahweh. And of course, if you know this story, the false prophets, they start to pray to their God, and nothing's happening. They're supposed to pray and ask their God to light their sacrifice on fire. But nothing happens. Nothing happens. Elijah starts to make fun of him. He says, maybe he's occupied. Maybe he's too busy to listen to you. He's in the bathroom. He's too busy. Finally, the time comes and Elijah calls to his God. But here's the line I really want to focus on. Before all that happens, and that's the part of the story that we're most familiar with. Before all that happens, Elijah says to the people who are watching, he's to choose. You've been following this God a little bit. You try and follow the true God a little bit. It's time for you to choose. And he says this. Here's the really awesome line. He says, how long will you limp between two opinions? Because being stuck between whether you'll really follow God or kind of follow him is like limping. It makes you like you're broken. You're not getting around quite right because you're half following God and half following yourself, or in their case, half following these other gods. You know what that does? It means you're not really following God. We do that so often, don't we? We limp between, will we follow God? Will we listen? Will we do what he expects of us? Things like obeying our parents and doing what's right no matter what? Or will we serve ourselves and do what makes us happy? We do it all the time. And Elijah says it so well. He says, how long will you limp between two opinions? If God is God, if he's real, follow him. Just follow him. If he's not, then abandon him altogether and do whatever you want. But if he's real, stop limping. It means you're not enjoying following yourself all the way because you're busy trying to please God a little bit. And you're not pleasing God because you won't give him your whole self. So don't limp between the two. Do one or do the other. There's a passage like that in the New Testament. Jesus says this. He talks about a city, and he says it's kind of like taking a drink of warm water. You ever drink of just lukewarm water? We use hot water for things like tea and coffee, and those are very good. We use cold water to be nice and refreshing. Jesus says, to some people, you're like lukewarm water. I don't want it. I'll spit it out. Don't limp between. Don't be lukewarm. Be on fire for God and tell people about him and follow him and obey him in all that he says. Or abandon him altogether and enjoy this life because it's all you get. I've told you this many times, but when you truly follow God, you'll really enjoy this life in the way that it was meant to be, in the way that God intends it. That's the best kind of life. But don't waste your time half following God. And don't waste your time half following your own desires. Sell out to God completely. Do it completely. Anyway, you know the rest of this story. God calls up, or Elijah calls up to his God, and he says, send me fire and show them who is truly God. And he sends fire down, burns up the offering, burns up the wood, even burns up the rocks and the water that he had poured around it. Check out that story. That's 1 Kings chapter 18. And as always, make sure you check out the Buck Denver videos. Those will be coming to you in email form if you're on the children's ministry mailing list. If you're not and you'd like to be and you'd like to see those, just contact myself or Miss Kay and we'll get you there. All right. Thank you so much. Have a good day. God bless, and I love you.